Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. Today I'm going to be once again talking about blackberries, Rubus, and the one I have here, I think it's the invasive Himalayan blackberry, but this, I don't know, maybe there is a native blackberry, but I do know that there is a native raspberry. I think it's a black raspberry. I don't know. It has red fruit, and it has a blue stem covered in these flexible hairs. Well, they're almost like they're thorns, but they're very thin, and they're very they just cover the whole stem. It looks like they're starting to push out some growth, but mine is not. These leaves are very tender, but yes, once again, I'd like to show you. So the first video about blackberries I made was during summer, in mid-September. Now it's winter, and if I do it at the opposite end of the year from that, it will be spring. So I think at that time it looked as much like summer as it does here with winter, I guess. At least for these blackberries. Now, it appears, well, most of this is raspberry, but there is some blackberry. This is the invasive Himalayan blackberry with pink flowers. It says pink flowers, very coarse growth. Look at that, the internode between the node here and the node here. There's the old fruit from last year. Let's see, they've now gone to seed. So there's what the seeds look like. There's an old inflorescence. This is in the rose family, Rosaceae. But it is native to the Himalayas, I believe. Yeah. And this is found all the way into Yosemite, I guess, like mountainous regions. So I guess this is a native raspberry, also related to rose, in the Rosaceae family, with like the thorns and the compound leaves, as well as the same looking flowers. They all have a very distinct flower. Now I will make a video about this in May, when they're all blooming, and maybe my blackberry will be blooming. I will not let it turn to seed because I don't want it spreading. I want, when I have my own backyard, I want a lot of I want all natives plants. I will have a large California black oak, Quercus callagii, and a bunch of nice native plants, and that are all kind of seasonal. Not all of them will be evergreen. I already have it all formed out, and I am very excited to have my own backyard where I can just let it grow wild, maybe keep it irrigated, but anyway, I grow this because of the fall colors and the winter colors that it's getting. Oh, I thought that was an insect for a second. That is a raspberry leaf. I saved all the fallout from this. It looks quite nice. It makes a nice winter kind of thing going on here. And then the honeysuckle is not quite experiencing winter. It is still autumn here. And it's spring. At the same node, there's little soft tender leaves coming in, just like over there in the honeysuckle area. This is the dogwood area, and then all around me here is the Rubus section. It's all the berries where you get to walk through and pick the berries in July. Oh, the buds are starting to swell on the willows. Yeah, but there. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. I do love this. There's a squirrel in the oak tree above me. It's dropping stuff. I don't know what this is. What is this yellow stuff? Is that the new foliage? That is very beautiful. But yeah, it's a very beautiful plant. This does not grow into a tree, obviously. And it grows into, like, I don't know, kind of, it's a thicket. It's a bramble. And I guess you could call the bramble family Rubus, because Rubus is a bramble. Roses and berries are brambles. The classic bramble you can see on this. Now here's a very key identification feature. You have, let's see. The spines are randomly placed along the stem. Sometimes they're close together, sometimes they're not. I think they're the most wicked in the middle part of the stem. So like right here, you can see there's not many thorns up above here. But then in here, they're kind of small and kind of insignificant. But here, there's a lot, and they're quite dense. But also, if you look very close at the stem, there are hairs on the stem. I'll try to give you a nice background. You can see all those little hairs. I'll zoom in. Yeah, that's nice. You can see the base of the thorns has a bit of a covering on it. I'll try to scrape it off if it comes off. I don't know. Does it come off? So yeah, I think it does come off a little bit. It's just this little thin layer of hairs. I don't know. Not always. In the middle of this, the most wicked part of the cane, which is the stem, do the spines cluster at the node like this. I don't know. I think it was random, but you know, the leaves are very highly venated, very textured. They have a white underside because, let's see, there's probably a layer of hairs at the base of almost every single kind of rubus. I don't know. It does feel, where there are no thorns, it does kind of feel, I don't know, it feels exactly the same. It's very hard to tell. And this is as best as it gets. But yeah. So the veins kind of go there. It's like an elm. It's almost exactly like an elm. Look at this. This is or maybe a hornbeam leaf. But yeah, the veins go like, they very, very subtly curve downward. Well, it depends on how you're looking at the leaf. They go mostly just straight out to the edge of the leaf, and then the sub veins are perpendicular to that, and they go off to the side, and then they excuse me, I guess they just kind of meet up and they connect. So that's interesting. Now on raspberry, let's see. Oh yes, they have lots more little hairs on them. You can see. I already knew this, but they have lots of these little trichomes and hairs. And they're not fiberglass hairs like nettles do, and some irritating plants that kind of grow here as well. But this, you can see that the top of the leaf is soft and kind of velvety, I guess. The underside, the spines actually, you can see the spines on the side veins as well, not just the main central vein. And then you have the trichomes and hairs that actually go all throughout the stem, I believe. Yeah, you can see all the way down here, and even the kind of dead area. You can see these dead leaves. They keep their little hairs, but the hair. I think they all have hairs. They all have these little tiny hairs, just at different levels. And then you can see the beautiful winter colors that they get. They have a little wave of fall colors in like November in our climate, like late October to throughout November is when they're in their peak fall colors, but then the remaining leaves that stay on eventually get their winter colors in late winter. You can see here that these leaves, they did not fall off. Maybe there was a leaf here. I don't know what happened to that one, but the bottom leaves already fell off. They got fall colors, but then now these leaves, the ones that stayed on, are getting kind of faded. I don't know why mine has such small leaves. These are the largest leaves that it had. But that's good, because it gives it miniature size. But the leaves kind of, they have a very, very slight tinge of purple, especially around the edges. Heavily serrated margins. Kind of randomly serrated, different sizes of serrades, but actually, it's not random at all. You can see the main vein, it goes up, and then there's a broad serrated margin, like right at the tip of that. It kind of goes up and down, but overall, it's a very heavily serrated leaf. There's the winter colors. I don't know why mine is getting such nice winter colors, and I don't know how it would play out if I did not prune this. Maybe the whole vine, it would just be like purple leaves like this. That would be nice, but I don't need that length. I don't. You can see, I mean, throughout the later half of the year, the stems are kind of purple to red on the blackberries, Himalayan blackberry. And there's a leaf here. That was poor fall colors, but the black raspberry, or so I think it is, it has a purple stem. It's usually just very white because it actually has this pigment on it, just like succulents do. It's wax that I guess maybe it protects it in some way. Maybe from drying out, maybe from sunlight, but I wouldn't expect that because we don't live in a desert. We do get dry summers, so maybe that's why. But this is a cool wax. Maybe the thorns protect it from losing the wax, so the animals don't rub it off. I have no idea why. I mean, I could try. Yeah, you can see I can rub off the wax because I'm tough enough to rub off the spines. You can see the wax is getting rubbed off, just like if you rub the leaves on your echeveria. that I guess It's a wax. It will rub off, and then that leaf on the Echeveria will probably die. But yeah, this weekend on Saturday, I will show you the rest of the creek. Okay, now I do have another invasive plant growing here. I recently found out that periwinkle is invasive, but I don't, for any of my invasive plants I'm growing for bonsai, I will not let them seed. But here, I think here I have the larger scale one. Yeah, this one, you can see that it has, I mean, this leaf is wet, so I'll try to find you a better one. And this is very close to the ground where like the dew doesn't really dry up. There's still dew on the leaves. But yeah, I guess they're often like this, the wet during winter. So they're sweeping veins. They sweep upward and they divide into. They divide. And yeah, kind of. What would you call it? Kind of like a balsam poplar shaped leaf. Similar veins. But except the veins are opposite at the base, and then they slowly stagger out and become alternate. But the leaves are alternate. No, they're opposite. Look at this. Opposite leaves. The flowers are purple. They come out like this, and the calyx. There's a green calyx, which is the kind of encasing of kind of foliage, the bracts, on a sunflower, the green things that kind of keep the flower together like this, and then the flower is like that. Yeah, so the flower emerges from it like that, all twisted up, and then it unfurls like that, kind of like a morning glory and a hibiscus flower. They kind of rotate like that and twist. But yeah, that is the two kinds of rubus that grow here. And here, I'll show you the stems. And when, excuse me, sorry, I don't know. But when I was showing you the Orinda Oaks Creek, I stumbled upon a massive cane of blackberry. It was over a year old, but same as this is over a year old. In fact, I think this is, what is this? Possibly 3 years old. Yeah. This is a 3-year-old cane of blackberry. And, yeah, it was like twice as big as this. So I didn't expect to find a cane that large, but yeah, when they die, they turn pale like this. Those dead branches, they just form a mass of thorns. But yeah, that's all for today. That's all I wanted to show you. This invasive kind of blackberry. It normally has leaves of kind of 5, usually-ish, but mine only sprouted leaves of 3. So, yeah. That is all for today. This is the Watch Poplars, and I'll see you in the next video.